Mulifanya nini maafisa wa polisi wa Tanzania? Sexually harass kwa njia gani? Kuingiza vitu katika sehemu ya nyuma, na mnamdhulumu kingono na mnamwambia aseme asante Samia wakiwa.
What's up guys, welcome back to my channel Iyano Show KE, the channel that brings you about the content across Africa. So guys, there is this content about it has bring more emotions to Kenyans, and here I have to react about the Kenyan presenters who have reacted on this incident. So presenters have condemned this situation, this crime whereby Boniface Mwangi, a Kenyan activist who was sodomized in Tanzania. So this came earlier today whereby Boniface Mwangi, the activist who was sodomized in Tanzania, said that while he was abducted in Tanzania, the policemen or the Tanzanian forces forced him to do something that he didn't want. So he said that they used the perfume, they used the oil, and they said that they want him to scream Suluhu Hassan. So the presenters here in Kenya, especially the radio presenters, the TV presenters, they have accused this thing, this what is called that is the sodomy of Boniface Mwangi very harshly. They say that he is a man, and whatever he has been done is not good to him and to his family and to us as Kenyans. So we've seen that the relationship between Kenya and Tanzania has been going on worse. And guys, we are bringing you latest videos concerning this and the reaction of Kenyans, the reaction of this presenters. But now our focus is being on these presenters, and we've seen they have accused this incident very much, and they are saying that it's not good the way the Tanzanians are going on. So kindly, if you are new here, don't go anywhere. Click the subscribe button, subscribe, like, comment, and share. So guys, let us see what these presenters said about what is going on between Tanzania and Kenya, especially the sodomy of Boniface Mwangi.
Watanzania ndugu zangu, sikuwajua hivi. Ndio. Sikuwa nawajua hivi. Sikuwa najua kwamba siku moja nitakaa katika radio station namna hii nikimuona mwenzangu mwanamume akiwa anabubujikwa na machozi kwa sababu ya visa na visanga ambavyo mwenyewe anaeleza bayana kwamba alifanyiwa akiwa Tanzania. I never thought a day like this would come. I never thought. One of the saddest story, ni kwambia ukweli kwa Shumbe, nimeangalia video ya Boniface Mwangi akijieleza ukweli wa Mungu. Sikumani tukumaliza. I have not managed to even finish the video.
It is sad.
It is very sad.
It is sad seeing mtu mkubwa kama yule akilia kwa sababu ya vitendo wewe mwenyewe akielezea.
Yaani bwana ya mtu, baba ya watoto, mwanaharakati anayetambulika katika taifa la Kenya.
Okay.
Anakosewa heshima na kudunishwa na kubakwa Mwashumbe.
That's so bad.
Na kubakwa. Manake ule ni ubakaji ule. Ule ni ubakaji.
Ni ulawiti.
Ule ni ulawiti ule.
Ule ni ulawiti kabisa. Doing that to a fellow man, that is ulawiti.
I never thought itawahi kufika siku kama hii leo. Sijui. I don't know what the government is going to do about it. Okay. Because I feel like the government needs to do something
exactly.
About it.
Yes,
yes. Kama serikali yetu inahitaji kufanya kitu. Kenya mwenzetu hakutendewa vyema.
Na hisi ya kwamba pia serikali pia Tanzania pia it is high time they need to apologize.
They need to apologize.
The way the president apologized to them, it is high time Madam President anafaa jitokelezee Samia Suluhu na apologize to Kenyans.
She needs to apologize.
So it's high time pia vile wale maafisa pia ambao walitekeleza pia unyama kama huu pia wanafaa pia wao pia chukuliwa tu upendo Tanzania.
Inaniuma sana. Katika what's trending asubuhi hii leo inaniuma sana. Very sad story. Nataka niseme pole sana kwa Boniface Mwangi, pole sana kwa Agatha Atuhaire kutoka Uganda. Poleni sana kwa masaibu ambayo mliyapata kule mikononi mwa wale ambao wanaitwa maafisa wa Tanzania. I'm very sorry.
Poleni sana.
That's what's trending this morning.
Nafungua gazeti jamani. Naangalia story ambayo jana ilikuwa ina trendi kinoma. wameamua kuongea Sugar.
Ndio.
Boniface Mwangi na Agatha Atuhaire wameamua kuyaweka wazi yaliyofanyika pale ndani ya Tanzania.
Ndugu yangu, mimi yani kidogo lidondoke na chozi yani lile kabisa kati nikiangalia ile wakisimulia.
Ndio.
Yani sielewi ubinadamu uko wapi. Yani ilinishangaza sana kwamba kumbe sometimes unajua ukitekwa wanakuja na nyamaza, mtu aongei, lakini hawa wameamua kufunguka kuelezea. Hey, yule unyama
kwa msikia Boniface pale anaongea, machozi yanamdondoka. Ikifika wakati unaona mwanaume anaongea paka machozi yanamtoka jamani, basi jua ameguswa pahali, inauma.
Ni unyama.
Ni unyama kweli. Haina haja tuipote jina lingine Sugar. Ni unyama huu.
Wale labda hawakupatika kufika mitandaoni ndo anasikia.
Ndio.
Ni mwanaharakati mtetezi wa haki za kibinadamu hao wawili ambao walikuwa wametekwa kule Tanzania.
Ndio.
Walienda kule kwa kusimama na ile kesi ya Tundu Lissu.
Ndio.
Lakini wakatekwa kwa kuwa detained ndani ya Tanzania.
Ndio.
Sasa jana walitisha press na wakafunguka kuelezea miongoni mwa vitendo ambavyo vya kinyama ambavyo walikuwa wakifanyiwa wakati wakiwa pale.
Bwana wewe.
Walikuwa nasema miongoni mwao ni kwamba hata imenukuliwa kwenye ili gazeti jamani.
Waliko katika chumba cha giza. Walipofika pale ndani bwana wewe wakakuwa tortured usiku na mchana pale.
Wamevuliwa nguo zote, wapo uchi wa mnyama.
Ndio.
Alafu wanaekwa vitu kwa sehemu yani
they were tortured sexually, assaulted sexually. Tutaiweka hivyo kwa kimombo. Haipendezi jamani.
Na alikuwa anasema anaambiwa kuna maneno fulani hayaseme Boniface Mwangi.
Imagine anapofanyiwa hiyo dhulma, upande wa pili Boniface Mwangi anasema ya kwamba tukuza mtu fulani huko nafanyiwa dhulma hiyo. Hata kama bwana jamani mtu amekosea kibinadamu tu yadi Sugar. Kibinadamu tu yadi. Mtu anapita, huyu ni babake mtu by the way.
Na hawa wote ni raia wa nje, nadhani ingekuwa rahisi tu kwa Watanzania, serikali Tanzania kuwashika na kuwarudisha kwao.
Ndio.
Kama venye walimzuia Martha Karua.
Kwa nini ilibidi wapitie vitendo vya ajabu kama hivi? Jamani, sisi sio majirani tena East Africa. Kwani Sugar unataka kuniambia mimi vile leo sina uhuru wa kuingia Uganda na passport yangu? Sina uhuru wa kuingia Tanzania jamani?
Najaribu pia kuangalia ni kosa gani kubwa alikuwa wamelifanya hao.
Ndio.
Walikuwa wamefanya kosa gani kubwa mpaka ifike kiwango hicho
jamani?
Yani kudhulumiwa, kudhalilishwa kwa kile. Yani
inauma kuona kwamba dhulma pia kwa za kibinadamu karne hii bado sidaendelea namna hii.
Ni ukweli basi inahusika ati serikali ya majirani kama wanavyodai.
Ndio.
Basi
hiyo picha wanayodai ni kama tunajiona kwa matendo kama haya.
Yani basi majirani
mnakipitia.
Voices crushed and bodies broken. Activists Boniface Mwangi pamoja na Agatha Atuhaire wanasemaje? Wanasema kwamba walikuwa sexually harassed, molested wakiwa Tanzania.
So niliona huyo Agatha akizungumuza Luchivia. Vitu ambazo alizisema ni vitu ambazo unasangaa binadamu anaweza kufanyia binadamu mwenzake. Ubinadamu umeenda wapi? Ile uroho wa utu Luchivia umeenda wapi kama unaweza kufanyia mwanadamu mwenzako vitu ambazo Agatha alisema alifanyiwa Luchivia? Ni vitu za kuua moyo sana. Sana nilisikia akizungumuza roho yangu ikafa Luchivia.
Wakasema walipigwa, walikuwa sexually abused. Na haya ndio matatizo ambayo waliyapitia, walikuwa wanazungumza hapo jana. Na tukaona pia wanaharakati hapo jana wakitaka hatua zichukuliwe, wakitaka serikali ya Tanzania iweze kuwa sanction katika taarifa ambayo ilisomwa na William Tunga.
Yes.
Mlifanya nini maafisa wa polisi wa Tanzania? Mulimsexually harass kwa njia gani? Kuingiza vitu katika sehemu ya nyuma na mnamdhulumu kingono na mnamwambia aseme asante Samia wakiwa na yule mkereketo mwingine ambaye anaitwa Agatha Atuhaire. So sad my friend, so sad actually. Na sasa unajua watu wanaulizana, okay, kwani kuna kitu kingine ambacho Boniface Mwangi na yule mkereketo yu wa kike walifanya? Because wale wengine waliondoka salama sana na kina Martha Karua, na tuseme kwamba pia wangefanyiwa anything, but mbona kudhulumu mtu kwa hiyo njia? Why do that surely? Why do that? Yani unapitia uchungu ambao hata haungetaka, even your worst enemy, yule adui wako mkubwa haungetaka apitie. Msikilizaji wangu,
I will speak from a position of as a man, right? There's some things as men that are very difficult to talk about. When you see someone like Boniface Mwangi, let's stop looking at Boniface Mwangi as an activist that he is, but as a father, as a husband, and as someone's child. And a Kenyan citizen for that matter, whose only crime was to go to Tanzania to stand with someone he calls a friend. And that is not wrong, because it has happened before. Emeritus Chief Justice Maraga was in court as well to see a friend. Boniface Mwangi was taken in by the cops from his room. He was already in the country. Had he committed any crime in Tanzania? No. He was taken in, was interrogated, and even the Kenyan ambassador to Tanzania told him that he would be deported back to Kenya. We all know deportation processes. All they do is they take you to the nearest airport, put you in the next flight, and send you back home. That is not what happened to Boniface Mwangi. Boniface Mwangi tells us how one Faustin Jackson Mafuele was there when he was being beaten and even threatened to rape him. These are words of one Boniface Mwangi. And as Ndu, you say, there is a resounding silence from the ministry. Let's not forget in a televised interview where the Cabinet Secretary Foreign Affairs, who has been donated power by one Boniface Mwangi, who is a Kenyan who went to vote, the reason why he's in that office, was mishandled in Tanzania. But the Cabinet Secretary Foreign Affairs says Boniface Mwangi imported or exported bad manners to Tanzania. That is the person who's in charge of making sure that Kenyans, including Mogaka, who we had here in the morning, squarely lie under his office. If we hear the likes of the Iyala Member of Parliament that we had here equally resound and reverberate the bad manners that was allegedly exported to Tanzania, tell me again, what crime did Boniface Mwangi commit for him to be arrested, first of all? And anything else that happened to Boniface Mwangi should never happen to anybody in any country, anywhere in the world. Because human rights are clear. If Tanzania is a signatory to human rights laws, what makes them think that they can break it?
You know, sometime back in Tanzania, there was a young lady who purportedly had an affair with a senior official in Tanzania. And there was a disagreement, okay? When this disagreement happened, there was certain security officials who were sent to quote-unquote teach her a lesson. There were about 6 men. And they sodomized her. And as though that was not enough, the video of her being sodomized was circulated. This person was not a minister. He was not a general. He was just senior enough the security forces to be able to issue an order that this young lady, not much older than 21, was sodomized by 6 army officials. And unless there was public backlash, that gotten away scot-free. I say this to say that for me, those are not allegations. Boniface Mwangi, I believe you. And I'm willing to stand by your word, because I have seen this being done to people, not once, not twice. The level of inhumanity that is meted upon people in our neighboring countries in the name of political expediency, in the name of stabilizing the country, is ridiculous. By the time a president of the caliber of Yoweri Museveni comes up and says that we're sorry for atrocities, he's not joking. There are atrocities. And there are atrocities meted upon people who simply want to give alternative voices, or even voices to the people which the people feel hurt by. Let's not forget that Tunde Lissu himself has been shot.
16 times.
Been brought to Nairobi to get health care. Tunde Lissu, this is not the first time he's being arrested. He's been arrested many times. And each time for spurious reasons. I don't doubt this too. I don't.
You see, why did you come out yesterday, Bonnie, to say exactly what happened to you? Why did you and Agatha decide to do that?
So they were capitalizing on our silence. They told us that we were going to be shamed, and the guilt of what happened to us was going to be like a cross we carry for the rest of our lives. And we thought about it, and we realized that if we don't speak, we're going to be giving them power, because they'll have actually achieved their goal. Like, their goal was to silence us forever. So we decided to share what happened to us. But even if I shared, Agatha had already gone public about what happened to her. And for me, I was just trying to find solidarity with Agatha for me to be able to speak it. Because when I came back from Tanzania rather, I shared with my family the first day I arrived, and said I don't want to talk about this with anyone else, and let's end it there. But I had to go to hospital. I had to go to theater for some checks, and so I said, let me come public about what happened to me and to us.
First and foremost, Pole sana, my heart breaks for you. I am incredibly sorry. I cannot express how sorry we are. How would you like to be supported, both from the public and from the government side? Because you are ours, and we owe you our loyalty, our help, and also to be able to bring back dignity and justice to what happened to you.
Asante. So there's a bigger conversation, because I was told that Tanzanians use sexual violence as a weapon to silence people. So I think there's a need to have a larger conversation about other victims who are silent, who can't speak about it, and have the Tanzanian government investigated for such crimes. I think the other thing you can help me is help me find justice and get justice. Our government failed me, because our government knew that I was in the Tanzanian authorities' hands, and they said nothing about it. And actually, the only apology that came from Kenya was the Kenyan government and our foreign affairs minister apologizing to the Tanzanian government. I think furthermore, when I've said this, I have said that I would like my medical reports to be made public. I've asked the foreign affairs, go to Nairobi hospital where I was treated. Medical reports are there, all the injuries, and there's also independent medical reports of what happened to us, so that Kenyans can know the level of brutality that went through in the hands of Tanzanian government. So justice is all we need now, and I hope that our pain was not in vain, that Tanzanians are going to get liberated from the shackles of Suluhu's evilness and dictatorship.
Bonnie, we talk about the Tanzanian authorities coming to your hotel and picking you up. I know you asked them what your crime was, and no one really seemed to have that answer. What were they saying? Why did they pick you up?
there was no chargeable crime, so I did not break any Tanzanian law. I think what they were afraid of, and it has actually happened, was us exposing the sham case of Tundu Lissu. So the reason why we went other than many others were going to the country was trying to bring publicity to the case that is going on in Tanzania about Tundu Lissu is the main opposition leader. He's in jail. His party has been banned. And I think they were trying to avoid being embarrassed internationally, and that's why they were trying to silence us. So we did not break any Tanzanian laws. It's just that Chama cha Maovu, CCM, was afraid of our voices speaking on Tundu Lissu's issue.
So, of course, after all of this, there's been huge uproar all over the place, Bonnie, and folks have started to ask questions. And I think one thing that comes up very clear here is why anybody might think, or why do you think that there has been this very loud silence from government in terms of what happened to one of its own citizens?
I think our government was happy it happened to me. For them, it was good riddance. And also for even Uganda's government, because even Muhoozi, who is the CDF, in charge of the military in Uganda, was happy what happened to Agatha. I think our government sees us troublemakers in our countries, and so they were happy that another country was trying to get rid of us. And that's why I think that's the silence, because they know that the work we do is very important. And so if there's someone else who can try and break our spirit, they're happy for that. That's why the government is very silent. I think if what happened to me happened to a politician in our country, to be discussed in parliament, in state house, and everywhere else. But because I'm a citizen who tries to hold the government accountable, then they're happy that evil has happened to me.
Bonnie, I am really wondering what saved your life, because from how the parliamentarians are talking, from how I know Tanzanians have handled their own citizens, and you're right when you say that they do weaponize sexual violence. It is not the first time I've heard about it. What saved your life? What do you think made them get to that decision where they let you and Agatha go?
East Africans saved our lives. Kenyans went to the streets. They went to Foreign Affairs Ministry. They went to Tanzanian embassy. I didn't know it's from ordinary Kenyans that saved our lives, because the Free Agatha, Free Boniface Mwangi was not a government job. It was a Kenyan. It was just ordinary citizens speaking on our behalf. So it's actually your voices that actually saved our lives. The stories that you guys published, the discussion that you guys had on your radio shows saved our lives. There were some people out here fighting for us. And because we were picked so publicly, they realized they couldn't get rid of us. But I think if I had been picked that night in a hotel and gone quietly, I would